Hey, all right. We are live.
This is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hey,
guys. Welcome back to your future hound, Biggs and Boggs. I'm Marty Boggs.
and I'm Julian Biggs.
We got Spencer on sound screens, and we
Spencer.
are live today, folks. Thanks for joining us. We like to come at you once a week or so and go over this transitioning world of finance and talk about some subjects that we do believe will benefit your future hand, simply because it's benefited ours. So, folks, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below. Let us know what you think and where you're from. And let's get right into it. What are we up to today and how can we plan for tomorrow, Julian?
We are coming at you 42 minutes post the posted time.
42? That's not bad.
42.
A lot of 42s.
A lot of 42s.
A lot of 42s.
A lot of 42s. That's great. Things are good. We're going to get into it. First live stream on YFH. We got the BBN up here. Remember that, and maybe not even starting next week. I might do another week on YFH and possibly even to the new year. I've been stacking a bunch of content that I might get loaded up on BBN.
We're just figuring it out
before we
right?
launch. But the live
Figuring it
streams,
out.
we're excited to get the live streams going. But we will be getting the Bitcoin Broadcasting Network going as well.
And
But
2 years in the making. I think we're doing pretty good.
2 years in the making. Stonks are up. Things are looking good. So let's get into it. What are we doing today? We're going to get into this market scope real quick and recap some of the year and tell you what to expect in the next couple of months.
A lot of shit.
I like
getting
seeing
in
the
there.
full hit. I like seeing the full hit. I
Yeah, that's fair.
leave the bullet action right in there. So what are we looking at here? We are looking at the daily chart. Bitcoin versus US dollar chart on Bitstamp here. We've had a great week. You can see that we are managing to stay above. Oh, I just did something I don't want to do. We've managed to stay above the 23.6% fib level of this last exciting candle here on the daily chart. And the question is now, are we going to hold 43.8? Because 43.8 is we know that the 2s and 8s have been our support level. So we had the close. And basically, I look at Friday as kind of a weekly close because the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, everything else comes to a close, the TSX and the NYX. Everything comes to a close basically at 4 or 5 p.m.
That's
on-
bullshit because that
on
just
the
gives them time to manipulate it while you
Well,
can't have access.
Yeah,
to it.
and then you get those big CME gaps in the
Yeah,
candles before they come back.
ridiculous.
So, and but Bitcoin doesn't stop, and you can make some money on the weekends. The volume kind of dies down on the weekends, and it's really easy. So, crypto vets and people with a lot of bag in there, they can
honestly, if you're
manipulate
trading
the price.
leverage on the weekends, is a good time to get started
Yeah,
because it's less volatile. You can start to get a hang of things. I mean,
Sure.
obviously, you should never.
I
trade
like
leverage unless you-
I like trading ranges personally. You DCA
Yeah.
always, whatever your project is, you DCA always, right? And then when the pump happens, that DCA bag's getting a big pump.
Yeah, and you're
Trading-
gonna make more than you did when you were trading.
And for sure, always DCA. You're definitely going to do better. But when you trade ranges, you wait for these things to slow down. Like if I catch a pump in a leverage trade, awesome. If I know what's coming and I catch these pumps in a leverage trade, obviously I'm going to love that.
Yeah, but if you don't, your DCA bag does.
Your DCA bag does.
Yeah.
But trading ranges, once you establish a range, and like I said, I don't generally like to use too much other than the fib and the RSI, right? Because it gives you solid levels to look at. And if you just trust the ranges that you've got in, you trust the Fibonacci lines, you trust your RSI levels.
And by the way, that looks like a perfect flag.
You can make
Honestly, that's a bullish consolidation. And as long as we hold that 382, then looking pretty bullish, honestly. So I took a bunch of profits this last week and a half or so. Took the fam out for dinner, whatever else, bought groceries, did some stuff like that. It's December. Treat your loved ones, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, I put another $100 back in just this morning because we saw a bit of a retrace and it's looking bullish.
Yeah.
So continuing to DCA.
The weekly RSI here is still at 80%. Just over 80%.
Yeah.
So and we top out, like I said, we top out at 95% in bull runs. And people are like, "Oh, bull run's not here yet." It's like, fuck me, man. We just did 160% in 1 year. What do you mean the bull run's not here yet?
Well, they said that the whole last bull run too.
But the thing is that most of these YouTube content creators now are people who fucking missed the goddamn boat. They've been trying to short all year long.
They are what is pushing the bull run. Because
Yes.
they're kind of short.
Yeah.
The
So
people,
all these people are
behind.
like, 18K was the top. The Gareth Soloway. 18K is the top. up. Better put,
Yeah.
23Ks.
23,
And everyone just kept moving the
44.
goalpost. Well, guess what? That goalpost moved all the way to 44K.
Yeah, and anybody that's DCAing is winning.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
these guys that are trying to trade and short this market, it's funny because these are traditional
Keep
traders.
shorting.
These are traditional
Keep shorting,
traders, right? So
please.
they're looking at EMAs, they're looking at things like this, and it's crazy. Like it's
Look at this.
very far away from the EMAs. I get it, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh well, it's gonna come back. It's like, okay, yes, it will eventually, but look at the last bull run. Look at how far away from the EMAs it got. This is not traditional finance.
This is why
traders get wrecked, like you said. Bitcoin is designed to wreck traders.
It's designed to take out the trading market. Okay,
Yeah.
so Bitcoin is true equity equality, and if a lot of people don't understand that because that's the real imbalance. Okay,
Yeah.
racism, it's not a fucking issue until you talk about it.
Yeah.
All this social justice bullshit and rainbow colors and all that
It's
bullshit.
just to keep you distracted.
None of it means fucking anything.
No, it's
right?
stupid.
But when it comes to this, Bitcoin was designed to stop all this bullshit. It's going to stop the propaganda. It's going to stop the
Well, that's
fucking
just it. Every single problem,
divisive
no
fucking
matter you go to the
bullshit.
bar and you start talking to somebody, you drink and you argue, and it doesn't matter what you're talking about. It all boils down to the financial system.
Yeah, 100%.
Every single problem, whether it's homelessness, this or that, it all fucking boils down to the investors are raping every piece of realty and everything that we have. It all boils down to financial system once you get down there. So this is what we say: Bitcoin fixes this. Like I scroll through X and just be like, Bitcoin fixes this. Bitcoin fixes it. Just replying to people's complaints because it's hilarious.
And it does, and people
It does.
don't even and people don't even really realize that, and they don't want to hear it. They're so far gone.
Well,
and-
because
and the-
then on mainstream media they're telling it's a scam. It's and that's
the other thing is too, though, everyone's all freaking out and saying, "Oh, the poor, the poverty, this and that, this and that." Well, it's better right now than it ever fucking has been for anybody.
Ever.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can go and chase all the homeless people on the street you want and make all the content for clout, but you're only perpetuating the fucking system that makes people money.
Yeah.
You know how much a person in California
Yeah.
that helps, they work for the government, the housing industry, or I mean the homeless industry, problem.
Yeah.
The homeless
Oh,
problem.
not to mention you're posting on a Facebook.
So let me get this straight. So you're the director for the federal or for the state government here to help decrease the homeless population.
Yeah.
And sort out. But you make $250K a year?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah,
You're telling me that
Well, that's just it.
There's no
That's just
homeless
it.
problem. This shit makes people money. They don't want to get rid of it.
Exactly. It's profitable. Chaos is profitable.
Now there's all these YouTube content creators that get out there and just fucking go and videotape these people for clout. Well, guess what? You're not gonna help.
Yeah.
You're not helping the situation.
No, not at all. They're adding.
You know what
they're
does help
helping
the situation? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And there's less fucking people in poverty now than ever before. So it's like fuck all that shit. There's always been people suffering. There's always been people
Well, that's just
booze
it. Like,
donkeys
that's
and
just
drug
it.
addicts
Hundreds
and
of years
whatever.
ago, we were all homeless.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's
right.
actually quite a bit better nowadays. At least most of us have homes.
The issues that people think are issues now is like crazy.
Well,
It's
that's
like,
just it too. A lot
just
of these
100
people-
years ago, like our issue was survival, and like up till 100 years ago, like there was so much space between your houses that people would just come and take your shit. And there was nothing you could do about it unless you knew how to fight and shoot a gun, and that was it.
Yeah,
right. That was that was not very long
There's
ago.
still places like that. I was just stuck in one not too long ago.
And they're still taking people's shit. Like, you know what I mean? We have this societal standard for morality that is not followed by the people who fucking implemented it.
The
right?
reason
So it's
why is because we see mainstream media and we have Elizabeth Warren, we have Jamie Dimon, we have these people who are supposed to be in charge of the financial system, our senators, our
I don't watch
representative,
none of
and
them.
they are saying, they are reporting things like Bitcoin and crypto are just for money laundering. They're just for criminals, all this stuff. They're talking, and it's funny because they'll throw out these numbers about how this amount of percentage is due to Bitcoin and criminal activity and all this stuff. And when you really look at it, that's what I love about X, is because when they post this shit, because they have X profiles, and when they post these videos, the community tears them apart. And you get to see nowadays what's real and what's not, because people will go and say, no, check this, check this, check this. And they post stuff and it gets torn apart. Actually, know what? That percentage that you were talking about is actually fiat currency and cash. Your system is actually what
Fiat. The fairy farts.
Yeah, fiat is the cash and the fiat system is actually what supports all these criminal money laundering, drug trafficking, human trafficking. And you go look, and then it's just like, you got to get on X, follow us on X, follow me on X. I mean, I've been on X for a little while now, since like if you've been watching us for 2 years, you know that we put out a video probably a year and a half ago that says, or maybe a year ago, that says Elon X taking over Twitter will change the world, and it is happening right now. So
this was before he took it.
This is before he took it.
We were talking about like 6 months before he took it.
That's why we called your future hand.
We were talking about him taking over Twitter
and what's going to happen,
and him making
now
it the all-around one-stop shop for social media platform as well as
and
wallet
not for just
money
the
transaction.
It allows people to go there and debate on a situation, and you don't just get blacklisted for saying the truth.
I love it. I love hearing all the fucking shit that people talk about. If he brings Alex Jones back, this person's gonna leave, or if he brings Trump back, it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
The whole point of that is
that.
so you guys can go shut the fuck up somewhere else, wherever you want.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us are going to have conversations and let people.
Guess those people that are leaving are the people that are part of the golden juice group or whatever you want to call it. Like they're the people that are raping children. They are the people that are fucking your financial system. Those are the people that are fucking everything. Let them leave.
They
Let
can't
them
think
get
for
the fuck out of
themselves
here.
anymore, though, right?
No.
Most people can't think for themselves.
No, so
anymore.
they take those people that are high up that they love. Oh, I love that guy. He's so funny. He's so cool. It's like, well, guess what? He's basically just a fucking puppet. I don't care what you think about him. He's being controlled by a higher entity. We are now so much more powerful as a race, as a society, with the internet, Web3, and all this stuff. And it's like, you don't have to listen to these people feeding you bullshit anymore, okay? Stop drinking the fucking gold Kool-Aid or whatever it is. Start drinking the orange Kool-Aid, because all you're going to do is learn. And once you're in, then you're going to start realizing, holy fuck. But that's another thing, too. It's like people don't want to admit, I've been lied to my entire life. No, there's no way, right?
You have to admit you were wrong your entire life.
Exactly, right? And you're never going to grow unless you're able to change your mind.
But there's a lot of people that just don't want to get past that. It's like, okay, so I fucking, if we want to call it the Matrix, whatever. So I unplug from the Matrix, then what? Then I have to walk around in the 90% being the 10%, which is honestly fucking frustrating as all fuck.
Someone phoning me?
Yeah,
just hit the red button on it. You can.
Hit the red button.
I don't know, or just let it go to voicemail.
Just leave it.
Someone just phoning me because it's probably this. It's probably somebody coming after me.
But I like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is delicious. It is delicious, but you got to be careful with that sugar content.
Oh man, sugar causes cancer.
You got to be careful with that sugar.
But that's just the way it is, okay? Like
get maple syrup.
Society has maple syrup. Canadian.
They're charging me way too much money for it.
Canadian made. Well, dude, honestly, you can't put a price on.
Dude, we got silos full of the shit.
Of course. Well, like anything. Well, hey, go tap a tree. We live in Canada. Go tap your own tree.
Yeah, I'm just going to go into the courtyard of my condo and fucking tap a tree.
I got a couple maples, actually. I could tap a tree.
You just tap a tree. Yeah. Get us some maple syrup.
Well, that's just it, though. Like,
dude, coffee with the maple syrup.
But that's the way that it's been, and when you, and it's funny too, because even the what's his name there from the Who, that's like these the libertarians are a threat to our system. It's like, no, they're a threat to your system. Yes. And guess what? Nobody likes the system. There's a reason why we have elections every 4 years, and the opposing party wins every time because they hate what's happening. So they're like, oh, maybe I'll vote for this guy and it'll change. Oh, it didn't change? Maybe I'll vote for this guy and it'll change. No, the system that they have designed over the last 100 years doesn't work. It's not in your best interest. It's not in our, as like the regular human beings, it's not in our interest. It's in their interest.
You know that fair ride? That fair ride that's just like a pendulum and then eventually
the swinging shit.
And then it eventually swings over the top. Yeah. Like that's society. It's like it goes way up to the left and people start freaking out and dyeing their hair blue and getting all fucked, and then fucking it's like we're gonna fucking we're coming out with the AKs and the fucking M16s and then
we gotta go back. We gotta go back. Oh, we went 2 back. A couple kids died. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, it's all just a fucking scene. And if you just opt out, DCA, and look away and stop supporting their system by buying all the crap and feeding into the bullshit, they will just fade away. Because guess what? Their system is nothing without us. Nothing at all. And they're less than 0.1% of the population.
And that's why Bitcoin solves it, because all you have to do is stop buying into their system.
Yeah.
And it's literally the digital revolution. The only thing you need to do that is just buy a bit of Bitcoin. You don't even have to buy a lot. You just have to buy a bit on a regular basis.
People are talking about a physical revolution, like, oh, we need to get up and do
not
this.
Happening.
It's like, no, it's going to be a digital evolution.
But we can never do that. Like
outsmart them.
You know how much
we've already outsmarted them. Just hop on the boat.
Like even if we, everyone's like, oh, if we just stood up. It's like even if we did. even if we did, we would have to have the entire military forces of our countries behind us as the people.
Yeah.
Because even if all of Canada stands up, 40 million.
Well, that's just it too.
The military's just going to wipe us out.
Exactly. Well, how would they do that? They would all group together and start going, and then boom, one bomb, you're all gone. Don't group together. Stay separated. And buy Bitcoin.
You got to think. So it's like, what's the perspective there? What does that mean, right? If you're someone in the military and you're designed to protect the freedom of your country's citizens, right? But if you know that the world is going to change and say every citizen in Canada or every citizen in America stood up against the military, right? Would they fucking wipe their own people out and restart? Because in the reality, they're the much more better specimens of the human species than the rest of the fucking monkeys running around in the streets.
That's fair.
No offense.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. They might.
So I used to think about it like, if you're a cop, at what point do you like go, I want to stand up for my people and not my government? And if you're in the military, same thing. At what point do I stand up for my people and not my government?
Yeah.
But it's like,
Well, that's the toughest thing, though.
Well, the toughest call is, do we just need a call and fucking take the flamethrower out and burn a bunch of these fuckers and fucking restart?
I don't think that'd be a good idea because
if
society
society stood up against your government.
Yeah. I know, but the thing is that I love everybody. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to people of military families and that type of thing, it's really hard to have a real conversation with them because part of the military and part of basic training is break you down and build you up. So it's really hard to have a real conversation with anybody that's gone through that because they have been literally programmed.
Like my life story.
They have literally been programmed to stop thinking for yourself and listen to orders.
Oh,
that is literally the design of the military. So at what point do you think somebody in the military is going to go, actually, you know what? Maybe what I'm doing isn't the right thing. Never. Because they make sure of that. Well, there's a lot of
people that leave after their 3 years or whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, those are the people that still continue to think for themselves, and they make sure of that. Like, there's a reason why it is the way it is, and they know. Like they put these insurance policies in effect immediately. They know that once somebody starts thinking a little bit, that they're going to potentially not listen to what I'm saying because what I'm saying is not good for the general public, right? There's a line. At some point, they're there to defend, they're there to protect. But when it comes to them, like even that movie, you can't handle the truth, right? They were told they did what they did, but they did the wrong thing, right? And there's another thing too. It's like music and movies, and there's so many things. Like if you just listen and pay attention, there's been people trying to feed you the truth and feed you reality of what's going on forever. Okay, but the powers that be are doing their best to stomp on it and to the guy's an idiot or whatever. It's like, think about the people that you see in Hollywood for a few years and then you don't see them ever again.
Even all the people like now, it's like, you know what I mean? Like there's a huge change in this whole conversation between masculinity and femininity and what's right and stuff like that, and people like Andrew Tate and all these other people coming in to influence people and shit like that. But it's like the reality and the biggest part of the message for anybody at the end of the day is just if you stay healthy, if you keep yourself healthy, the rest will fall into place. Like that's the biggest lesson. So all these people who have got so much to say and it's so much bullshit and content and all their opinions of everything, it's meaningless. It's fucking all
it is just putting you in a mental jail.
They're just part of this. They're just part of the psyop that perpetuates all this shit. Yeah, and it's like the stuff they talk about. It's redundant and it perpetuates the issues that they're speaking on. Right? No one talks about real solutions or moving forward. It's
they
like
just complain, and they love the chaos.
People are fucked. Great. But what's moving forward? Let's stop looking backwards and what can we do to move forward? And that's fucking buying Bitcoin. We take money out of their system and it gets better for everybody. It gets better in the education system, the healthcare system, fucking every system.
And it's so funny too because a lot of people nowadays find it hard to have a conversation with me. And it's like, well, no, I'm actually a really good person to have a conversation with unless you're complaining. Here, this guy is sitting here live with me right beside me. Let's do. If somebody is complaining to me, I'm not good at having a conversation with you because what I'm going to do is provide you a solution right away. And there's no conversation to be had. Here's your problem. Here's my solution.
And then it's like, well, you don't understand.
No.
You don't understand what I'm trying to do.
No, I just solved your problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
Like my roommate.
I'm not listening. I'm not listening. Like, man, it happens all the time. And even with people we love, and it's okay.
It's funny, and I was just going to comment on it because actually, so my roommate, she's got a few things disorganized. But no, I actually brought it up because I've been fucking with AI video generators, but I made a crazy epic, like really intricate AI story about boxes and how she's like buried in like this unorganized mess
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
And it's like, the AI video generators are getting crazy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the story was like awesome with like wicked music and like you can like describe what scenes you want for it. Anyway, so I sent her the video and I could just hear her laughing, right? So it was actually like pretty good. And it was like, in the end, it was talking about determination and goals and things.
Yeah,
But like,
exactly.
it's just really funny, man. Like,
Well, that's just it, though, man. A lot of people
Quit
that have
complaining,
these
I'll solve it.
problems
Yeah.
don't actually want to solve these problems because
No.
as if they did, they would just apply themselves and figure it out. And that's just, I can't live that way. Like even when we were stuck in fucking Smoky Valley the other day, I'm getting out of here. We're gonna go take the keys from these guys. We're gonna go fix this truck ourselves and get the fuck out of here. Like I can't sit here. I got shit to do. Right? If I have a problem,
You guys
if
didn't
I
have
have
you
a
guys didn't have a bike pump? Just
No.
fucking hook a fuel line up and just.
no, it was the
Hand-
pump itself. Yeah, but
hand
anyway,
pump
either
it
way,
in there?
like no, like it's so funny. Like people don't understand. We were in the middle of nowhere, 100 miles in either direction. There was nothing. Like people were fucking texting me like, "Oh, isn't there a bar to go to?" Or isn't this? I'm like, "No, man, there is nothing. Like nothing. In middle of Nevada, nothing. They didn't get it. It was so funny how many people sent me messages.
When I was working on the oil rigs, this is like probably 13 years ago or something like that. When I was working on the oil rigs, we had a shutdown, and our rig was shut down for like
Grab me one of those
six
beers, please.
days. And I was in, I can't remember what it was called. It's called like Browning, Saskatchewan or something like that.
Oh, we got it.
But it's a town of 700 people, and I was there for fucking 5 days. And it was like there was actually a pub. There was like the one little pub, like that was it was something else. Yeah, a little town of 700 in the southern Saskatchewan or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just
I
like,
think there was about 10 people in the town that we were stuck in.
10.
Yeah, and none of them actually even lived there. They all had to go out.
They're all related,
Yeah.
actually, too.
Oh man, dude, it was. Brutal.
Anyways, let's recap. We're getting off topic here. We're
live. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
We're live. We do whatever the fuck we want. But let's recap here. So what are we looking at? I'm looking at the monthly chart now. Looking at the monthly chart, let's recap. This thing is super healthy. This is why I zoom out. You can see that this is, it's made a higher low on the monthly chart. So now all we need to do is make a higher high. This thing could easily creep up here. It'd be hilarious to see this thing get above fucking 70K before the halving.
What I want to see is actually just
But I'm not
go
gonna
back
say
to
that
the
is
S&P.
happening,
Can
but-
you just switch to the S&P for a minute? Go back to if you can, go to the S&P and just look. Let's go back 15 years. Go back 15 years in the S&P. Or that blue circle.
We're looking at 15 years right now. That's the housing crisis, right? 2008, 2009.
But just go back to the blue.
Oh, sorry. This is the Euro crisis.
Yeah, so just go back and then even go back again and just look what happens. So this is how it works, right? So they have the money printer is on until it's a problem, and then it goes sideways for a bit. That's our accumulation phase. That's what we're in right now. That's what we're potentially about to break out of. Hopefully, in my opinion, like I was saying in the chat the other day, maybe we get one more rejection. Maybe it comes back down again. Maybe we get a chance to load up again. But inevitably, even go back 20 years. This happens over and over and over again. They have no choice but to print more money. That's how the system works.
The couple things I want to look at, and this is even on the monthly too, and so this is a giant cup and handle that's already broken out.
Yeah.
This is gold. Gold just hit a record new high, right? We are warming up for another long leg.
Yeah.
Right? And this is probably a good 5 to fucking 10 year leg.
Well, yeah.
It's it's going to happen slow and it's going to chop around and it's going to do this.
Exactly.
And
It's going to
do that or
confuse you. It's going to bore you.
It's going to do all the things.
But if you DCA,
right?
You're good.
Look
That's
at this. And if you look at gold didn't really start making any fucking money until just recently.
Well, until it goes off the gold standard, because then
because
it was
they started
in the hands of the people.
They started printing money.
Exactly, right? It was in the hands of the people, and then they took it out of the hands of the people. It took it off the gold standard, and then then it was up to them to do whatever they wanted.
So anyway, here's the monthly. If you go to even the annual chart, even the 1 year candles is a fucking cup and handle now breaking out on the gold chart.
That's what it does.
And
it can
then,
only correct so much, and then and unless we go into complete the thing is like those people, like we just said, those people aren't rich unless they have someone to sell to, right? So they can't just bomb the economy. It can't, or else they fuck themselves.
Yeah,
and they're not going to do that. They don't want to work.
And
they don't want to do anything.
the 5 year chart on the NASDAQ is at an all-time high, and it is a giant cup and handle.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's hilarious. Like, if people think that we're going to go back down, like, it's just not how it works, right? The money printer doesn't stay off for long because we have debt to pay. They have campaigns to pay for. They don't want to have to work and earn that money. They have the ability to print it. Why would they do that? Another meme I saw the other day, it's like, why do I pay taxes if you can just print money?
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the thing too.
That's
it's like,
their attitude, though.
but
Like,
it- but
why
it's-
would they work if they could just print money?
But why tell us? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it is what it is, and they say it's like, just
Well,
say
as
that
long as we believe
just
it.
say that it fucking isn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the only reason they do is so we are afraid, right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
afraid
yeah.
of each other. We're in competition with each other. We're trying to save as much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
keeping up with the Joneses, all this bullshit that
Yeah.
just keeps these
Consume,
systems,
consume.
all these markets moving up and to the right. All the bullshit is what keeps these markets moving up and to the right. So start buying into these markets. I don't care. You could buy
It
Netflix.
doesn't matter. We've gone through the bear market, and like you
Netflix
said,
has done better than Bitcoin.
and like you just said,
196%
yeah,
on
after
Netflix
coming
and
down
fucking
90, it actually made a worse.
Yeah, but
retrace.
it doesn't matter if
You're right.
if you're paying attention and you're
Yeah.
watching trades
You're right.
and holding
You're
value,
right.
then that was one of the
And
best
actually, I
trades in the
will
last
give
fucking
Gareth
decade.
Soloway. He did say buy Netflix when it was all down low, so he had a good call on that one.
No brainer. It's not like it was
It's
just
true.
going to go tits up.
You're right. You're right.
right?
Of course. So, yeah, everyone still has a Netflix.
And
account.
but I don't own any stocks. I'm all in crypto because I think that it's.
Well,
I
it's
think
obviously where the money's
the
going.
innovation and the way the system is going, I
Yeah.
prefer that.
Well,
but
you're
it's
not-
like, man, Netflix would. I mean,
You're obviously not
would've
buying
been
into
a
the
nice-
rotary
would've been
telephone,
a nice
right?
trade.
You're not buying into the horse and carriage.
I actually do want a rotary telephone.
Yeah, well, that's funny because that.
Fucking
Yeah,
yeah,
of course
see?
they are
No?
because they work. Yeah,
They're
well,
so-
it was
yeah,
fucking
super dope.
direct hard line, right?
Yeah.
Now we're all wireless.
Anyway,
I got a joke for you, Julian.
okay, let's hear a joke.
What's the funny thing about a financial advisor? They still work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's the other thing too, and the guy who's supposed to be giving me my business degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like that, I saw this on
This guy
on X
rides
the
his-
other day.
this
and I was
guy
like, that's
rides-
hilarious.
he's a professor.
Why would you
This
go to
guy's
somebody
riding
that
his
works
bike
9 to
to
5 to
work
try and
from
get
work
away
every day.
from 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Like you go to a financial advisor to try and get away from your 9 to 5, but you're going to a guy who works 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why it doesn't make any sense. And like,
No.
and like,
I actually
I don't know,
did,
my-
I did go to a
even my-
financial
even
advisor.
myself
He actually
personally-
thanked me after the meeting. He
I
thanked
can
me
be,
because I was like, "Are we gonna pay me?" Like,
yeah,
fuck, I just gave you.
that's funny. Even me though, like I can be very narrow-minded because like I like to try a bunch of different things, learn
Well,
new
it's good
skills, or
that you can
whatever.
admit that.
But I don't give a fuck. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Go fuck yourself. And how did Elon put it? Let me make this clear.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself. Like I don't give a fuck. Right?
Yeah.
I know as much as I need to know,
Yeah.
and I'll learn what I want to learn.
Well,
One thing I can't do is I don't have the attention span to sit and consume other people's nonsense.
Well, they're
Because
just trying to confuse you anyways.
they're all doing it for clout. But I'm just talking about even like the links you send me, like even or if it's like watch this or like a YouTube video or
Yeah, yeah.
other crypto guys.
Yeah,
The other
yeah.
day, even you gave me shit. You're like, you need to get educated. I'm like,
I was a joke.
Okay.
I was
I'm like,
busting
yeah,
your
you need
balls.
to get
I
educated.
was
I'm
busting
like,
your
okay.
coconuts. I was sitting in the middle of
I was
fucking
busting
Nevada.
your coconuts.
I was sitting in the middle of Nevada. I need to fucking razz somebody. I already fucking razzed
I'm
this
like,
guy.
fuck. But it's like I can't be fucked to watch other people. Like I
No.
can't. I don't have the attention span for it because the reality is Bitcoin is all you need to know. You DCA into Bitcoin, and when you
Yeah.
do that, the rest of it you will go the direction
Yeah.
you want to go.
Yeah.
And you don't. And this is what I'm trying to say. You don't need Andrew Tate to tell you that
No.
fucking you should do some push-ups and eat something and drink some water. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Exactly.
you know bullshit like that. Like. Or these women now going around and calling all the other women whores. It's like, guess what? There's always been whores, and I don't remember when
Oh, and actually,
when did we start hating them?
It's actually
Right?
no. It was actually a very profitable business.
Yeah,
In the
but it's like
1700s,
okay, so now,
Yeah.
but yes, but so
But it-
now,
but it
so
was-
now there's
wasn't frowned
more.
upon.
Now there's more, and they're on the internet.
well, it was
OF
before
or whatever.
STIs.
But it's like,
That's why.
who cares?
Yeah.
There's
You're not
always going to be
counting.
whores.
There-
Like,
hey,
let them
guess
be-
what? There's a product for that.
But it's like
We can sell you something for that.
It's
That's
just
how it works, man.
yeah.
So guess what?
Anyway.
Just check this. So I fucking X'd this the other day. The value of what I've learned since first buying Bitcoin in 2017 far surpasses the gains I've made holding the token. And the token is up almost 1,400% since then. Okay? This is the first thing I tell everybody that's new and asks me about it. Just get in, learn, live, be happy. Okay? Because the knowledge about it, when it comes down to it, is the more valuable than the token, because money doesn't fucking matter. Money, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's whatever, value between us, between exchange from human to human being, is what's more valuable. So your family, your friends, what the people that are actually
It's like-
seeing you on a daily basis, that is value.
I consider myself a bit of a modern philosopher. I came up with that new quote. That's what I just came up with that new quote. The value of everything is lost when we try to sell it to others.
Of course.
And that's the reality, and that's what created capitalism and everybody trying to take from others.
Of course.
'Cause
And just trying to up each other for more
you
value.
cannot earn money.
No.
We can only
No.
take currency.
Exactly.
The Fed prints money and we fucking fight each other for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That like you know what I mean? Like there is no value in it. We're only doing it because they fucking told us we had to. right?
Exactly.
Now it's survival mode.
Well, that was a pretty good one. Can I have one more out saying, and then we're going to be out? Or you got
One more
to
out
say?
saying.
Okay, so it's the holidays. So give the gift of financial knowledge this holiday season. Show your loved ones how to hold and store their value on their own in Bitcoin or crypto. Grow together, stay together. Money problems often drive families apart, and what's more valuable than a happy family? Okay, it's just another answer to everything else. If everybody it's like we've said before, it's designed to fucking tear you apart. It's designed it's just that's the way
but
it is.
It's only in North America though.
Of course,
like they're not like this in other countries.
No.
And especially even other white countries have way more culture than us and fucking. You know what I mean?
Respect
like
for women and all that.
They
stuff.
work for each other and help each other.
Exactly.
It's only North America.
Yeah, and you know what?
We're fucked.
And just this way of living is getting just basically sucked down. Smaller and smaller, pushed down the drain because it's not working. Okay, it had a big boom in the beginning because everybody thought maybe that it's going to work, but we're so far into it now and also connected to the point where it's like, okay, guys, stop feeding, stop eating the propaganda. It's bullshit. Okay, let's move forward here. Don't argue, don't complain. Just solve the problem, right?
Solve the problem.
Just solve the problem.
I hate. Stop
no more
complaining.
Bullshit.
Stop
no more
complaining.
Stop
making
gets
excuses.
you nowhere. Crying gets you nowhere. Stop acting like a fucking 3-year-old.
Complaints and excuses
Grow
lead
up.
to the only thing it leads to is more complaints and more excuses.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Well,
wow. How about that, man? Biggs and Boggs live.
We did it live.
Biggs and Boggs live. We did it live 2 years. We tried to do this like a year and a half ago, but
we just gave up.
Yeah. Well, we've tried. We've tried.
Fuck
We've tried. Now we're finally here.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for joining us. I'm sure there was like 0 people watching, but either way, it's still, they're going to get the recap. Check it out. Smash the like button. Help us out. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you on the next one. Biggs and Boggs out.
Biggs and Boggs out.
Peace.